Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavana. In this lecture we are going to deal with human circulatory system. First, initially circulatory pathways are of two types, that is open circulatory system as well as closed circulatory system. There is open type of circulatory system as well as closed type of circulatory system. In this open type of circulatory system, blood flows into spaces called sinuses. Blood flows into spaces called as sinuses. It is mostly seen in arthropods and mollusks. Means arthropods means what? Like insects, cockroaches. These all we see open type of circulatory system. The blood flows directly into open spaces called sinuses. That is, there is no heart or blood vessels that are present. So mostly they are seen in arthropods as well as mollusks. Whereas in closed type of circulatory system, blood flows directly into spaces. So blood flows into exactly by heart, blood vessels, capillaries. So many are present. This is closed type of circulatory system. It is mostly found in humans as well as many other mammals. Also we see closed type of circulatory system. That is heart, everything, it is blood capillaries, everything are present. Whereas what about the fishes? Fishes, they have two-chambered heart. Fishes, they have two-chambered heart. In two-chambered heart, that is one atrium as well as one ventricle is present. Then amphibians, all amphibians except frog, you should remember frog has how many chambered heart? Frog has four-chambered heart, whereas the amphibians, all other amphibians, they have three-chambered heart. All amphibians, they have three-chambered heart. Three-chambered heart means what? There is two atria are present as well as one ventricle is present. Two atria as well as one ventricle is present. Whereas frog as well as humans, they have four-chambered heart. Four, that is two atria and two ventricles are present. So this is about the two types of circulatory pathways. So what are the two types of circulatory pathways that are present? That is open type of circulatory system as well as closed type of circulatory system. In open type of circulatory system, blood flows directly into spaces called sinuses. That is, there is no heart, blood vessels like that, they are absent. So it is mostly seen in arthropods and mollusks. Arthropods means what? Cockroaches. These all we see open type of circulatory system. Whereas in closed type of circulatory system, heart, blood vessels, capillaries, everything are present. In humans, we have four-chambered heart. That is, two atrium are present, two ventricles are present. Whereas in fishes, only there is two-chambered heart, that is one atrium as well as one ventricle is present. Amphibians, they have three-chambered heart except frog. They'll ask frog has three-chambered heart or four-chambered heart. Important neat question. They have only three-chambered heart, that is two atria as well as one ventricle is present. Humans, they have two atrium as well as two ventricles. Next we are going to deal in detail about the human circulatory system, that is heart. So heart, where is heart located? Heart is present in between the two lungs. See, these are the two lungs. In between the two lungs, heart is present. These are lungs. It is situated in the thoracic chamber in between the two lungs. Outer layer of the heart. Heart is layered by outer layer known as pericardium. in between the two pericardiums, that is outer and inner, there is pericardial fluid that is present. Pericardial fluid is present in between. It also reduces friction. Like lungs, pleural fluid is present. Here pericardium as well as pericardial fluid is present. Heart is situated in the thoracic chamber in between the two lungs. This heart is slightly tilted towards the left side. Slightly it is tilted towards the left side. Outer layer, it is covered by pericardium. Inner pericardium. In between the two pericardiums, there is pericardial fluid. This pericardial fluid reduces the friction between the lungs. So this is about where is heart located. Heart has, a human heart has two atria as well as two ventricles. So I'll depict in a picture heart. So it has, see, this is left atrium, this is left ventricle, this is right atrium. Two atria are present on the upper side, two ventricles are present on the lower side. This is left. We normally see the heart like this. This is, you think this is right, but we have to see like this. This is left side, whereas this is right side. So this is left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. In between the two atria, there is interatrial septum. Interatrial septum that is present. In between the two ventricles, there is interventricular septum. Interventricular means in between the two, it is ventricles, interventricular septum is present. Whereas the septum which separates atrium from ventricles is atrioventricular septum. This is atrioventricular septum. In between the two atria, interatrial septum is present. In between the two ventricles, interventricular septum. It is self-explanatory, between two ventricles what is present. And atrioventricular septum separates the atria from the ventricles. Here there is vena cava present, vena cava. Here aorta, aorta. These all are the blood vessels of the heart. So, in between the left atrium and left ventricle, there is one valve present in the atrioventricular septum. This valve is known as bicuspid valve. Two flaps are there here. See, only two flaps are there. That is bicuspid valve. Bicuspid. Whereas between the right atrium and right ventricle, there are three valves that are present. Three valves. So it is called tricuspid valve. What is the use of these valves now? These valves help in flow of blood from left atrium to left ventricle. Here this tricuspid valve allows the blood to flow from right atrium to right ventricle. So what is the use of these valves? These valves prevent the backward flow of the blood. That is, from left atrium to left ventricle, blood will flow only in one direction. It cannot flow back. These valves prevent the backward flow of the blood. So this is about the valves. Next, there is also another two valves which are present. These two valves are known as semi-lunar valves. Semi-lunar means half moon shaped, like that they will be. So they are called as semi-lunar valves. These are, one valve is present in the right ventricle here, whereas other valve is present in the left ventricle. I'll depict it clearly in this diagram. This you know as atrioventricular septum. So, this is atrioventricular septum. Here you know bicuspid valve is present. Here tricuspid valve is present. Whereas in the right ventricle as well as left ventricle there arises another valve. So these two valves are known as semilunar valves, and here pulmonary artery also rises from right ventricle. Pulmonary artery. Here pulmonary aorta rises from the left ventricle. Pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery rises from right ventricle, whereas aorta, it rises from the left ventricle. So I'll give you again I'll revise. See, two atria are present, that is right atrium, left atrium. Two ventricles, right ventricle, left ventricle. These two atria are separated by interatrial septum. These two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. Atrium as well as ventricles, they are separated by atrioventricular septum. Here valves are present. Blood will flow only in one direction, that is from atria to ventricles. Valves prevents the backward flow of the blood. Now they'll ask important neat question. See, bicuspid valve is present. Bicuspid valve is present from in the left atrium to left ventricle. Bicuspid valve is present, whereas tricuspid valve, it is present from right atrium to right ventricle. In between them, tricuspid valve is present. Bicuspid, left side, right side, tricuspid valve. And there are also other two valves which are present. These two valves are known as semilunar valves. These also arise from right ventricle as well as left ventricles. So totally we have learnt about 4 valves. And pulmonary artery rises from the right ventricle, whereas aorta, it rises from the left ventricle. So here there is pacemaker of heart which is present, that is known as sinoatrial node. Which is the pacemaker of the heart? Recently they have asked in NEET, what is the pacemaker of the heart? That is sinoatrial node is known as the pacemaker of the heart. This is sinoatrial node. It is present on right side of the right atria. Here there is another one which is known as atrioventricular node. This is sinoatrial node. This is AV node. That is atrioventricular node, AV node. Here this is present on the left side of the right atrium. This is sinoatrial node is present on the right side of the right atrium, whereas atrioventricular node is present in the left side of the right atrium. Then again there is here interventricular septum is present. You all know interventricular septum. From this interventricular septum, there arises numerous fibers. These fibers are known as Purkinje fibers. See, these fibers are known as Purkinje fibers. So, when the cardiac cycle begins, I'll explain you in detail about the cardiac cycle. But first, initially, blood flows from where to where? That is, pacemaker of the heart generates numerous impulses. That is, from sinoatrial node, first impulses will pass into the atrioventricular node. Sinoatrial node is known as pacemaker of the heart. From the sinoatrial node, the impulses are transmitted to atrioventricular node. From atrioventricular node, they pass into AV septum, that is atrioventricular septum, and in turn into this interventricular septum. Finally, they pass into this Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers help the ventricles to contract. So initially this is the sinoatrial node is known as pacemaker of the heart. So sinoatrial node, they'll ask you in NEET question which is the pacemaker of the heart. So sinoatrial node is known as the pacemaker of the heart. So next we are going to deal with the cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle generally takes place for 0.8 seconds. How much time the cardiac cycle takes place? Important NEET question. It takes place for about 0.8 seconds. So initially in the cardiac cycle, first the blood enters from left atrium to left ventricle through bicuspid and tricuspid valves. See here in left atrium to left ventricle, the blood flows only in one direction. That is through bicuspid valve. Here only two are present, so bicuspid valve. Whereas from right atrium to right ventricle by tricuspid valve. Initially the blood flows from atrium to ventricles through these valves. As we already discussed that these valves prevent the backward flow of the blood. The blood flows only in one direction. When the blood flows, here these valves, when the blood flows into the ventricles, here the semilunar valves which are present, they remain closed. Then next process is the sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node. This all before I explain, from sinoatrial node to atrioventricular node, the impulses are transmitted, then into AV septum, then into interventricular septum, finally these Purkinje fibers. From these Purkinje fibers, here the ventricles get contracted. What happens when the ventricles get contracted? When these ventricles are contracted, then this closure of valves occur. Which valves are closed? That is only these tricuspid and bicuspid valves, these get closed. Then you hear the first heart sound known as lub. The first heart sound is produced by closure of tricuspid as well as bicuspid valves. Then you hear the first heart sound. Then again here ventricles contract. When ventricles contract, what will happen? Here these valves are also closed. Then these semilunar valves will open. When these valves are closed, these valves, semilunar valves will open. When these semilunar valves are open, the blood filled in the ventricles, they enter through these semilunar valves. So then again the ventricles get relaxed. When the blood fully enters into the semilunar valves, here these ventricles will get relaxed. Then you hear the second heart sound. When the blood fully enter into the semilunar valves, these valves also get closed. Then you hear the second heart sound known as dub. So when do you hear? This is an important NEET question which is asked. What is the first heart sound and how it is produced? The lub is the first heart sound that is produced. It occurs due to closure of tricuspid as well as bicuspid valves. Whereas second heart sound known as dub, this occurs due to closure of semilunar valves. So this is about the cardiac cycle. First this we depicted in a diagram. Now I will show you in a flow chart for easy remembrance. See, in the flow chart I will describe you. You all remember where are tricuspid and bicuspid valves present. Now I will show you in a flow chart initially. Tricuspid, from tricuspid and bicuspid valves, the blood enters into the ventricles. Blood will enter into the ventricles. And from these ventricles, the semilunar valves will remain closed. Why will semilunar valves be closed? Because these are open. The tricuspid and bicuspid valves, when the blood flows into the ventricles, these semilunar valves are closed. Then next, from sinoatrial node into atrioventricular node into interatrial septum, then interventricular septum. Finally, it enters into Purkinje fibers. When these enter into Purkinje fibers, these impulses and as well as blood, then what will happen? The ventricles will get contracted. Ventricles get contracted. When ventricles are contracted, then closure of valves occur. See, closure of tricuspid as well as bicuspid occur. Closure of tricuspid, bicuspid valves occur. When this closure of valves occur, then you hear the first heart sound is produced. See, first heart sound is produced by closure of tricuspid as well as bicuspid valves. Then again the blood is passed into the semilunar valves. Now semilunar valves will get open. Semilunar valves open. So blood flows into the semilunar valves. After some time, ventricles get relaxed. Ventricles are relaxed. Then what happens when ventricles are relaxed? Again you hear these semilunar valves get closed. Semilunar valves are closed. Then you hear the second heart sound, which is known as dub. Again the procedure repeats here. So this all is a cycle. This cycle is known as cardiac cycle. This takes place within a few seconds, that is within 0.8 seconds this full procedure takes place. Before I have depicted in a diagram, now you all note down in this flow chart. This flow chart is very important. Like how first initially what are the sequence of events that occur in cardiac cycle. Initially the tricuspid and bicuspid valves they open. Finally the blood enters from atria into the ventricles. Then semilunar valves are closed because these valves are open. These valves should be automatically be closed. Then sinoatrial node, as we know, it is the pacemaker of the heart. From the sinoatrial node into atrioventricular node into interventricular septum, and then finally they enter into Purkinje fibers. When they enter into the Purkinje fibers, before what I have discussed about the Purkinje fibers, they are present near the ventricles. So these Purkinje fibers help the ventricles to contract. When these ventricles are contracted, then the closure of valves occur. Closure of tricuspid as well as bicuspid valves occur. Then these semilunar valves will open. Here closure is there, then you hear the first heart sound. Then the semilunar valves which are present, these get opened. When these semilunar valves are open, again the ventricles are relaxed because blood will flow into semilunar valves. Then these ventricles are relaxed. Finally, these semilunar valves are also getting closed. After they are filled, they also get closed. Then you hear the second heart sound. Then again this sequence will repeat. This is about the cardiac cycle. So next we are going to deal with what is the apparatus which measures the cardiac cycle. And which measures the heart rate. The important apparatus which measures the heart rate for BP, there is sphygmomanometer. Before we have discussed for respiratory system, that is there is a breathing exchange of gases, there is spirometer. Like that for heart rate also there should be one machine, that is ECG. ECG is also known as electrocardiograph. This electrocardiograph, in movies we see, like there will be a wave running and they'll tell you about that patient's condition in movies, there will be a wave. This wave is very important. See, this wave is known as PQRST, alphabet wise, PQRST wave. That is, this wave is seen in electrocardiograph. That so in this P wave, what will happen? There is depolarization of atria. Depolarization of atria takes place. Depolarization of atria takes place in P wave. Whereas in this QRS wave, depolarization of ventricles takes place. Depolarization of ventricles. Whereas in this P wave, there is repolarization. Repolarization of atria. Repolarization. They'll ask you why this depolarization occur and repolarization. See, depolarization is nothing but contraction of atria takes place in P wave. Depolarization means contraction. Contraction of atria takes place in this P wave. In this QRS wave, there is contraction of ventricles. Whereas in T wave, there is repolarization of atria. So this is about the electrocardiograph. In electrocardiograph, generally there are leads which are present. Means two hands in the wrist, they'll put these two leads as well as one in the ankle. See, two on the wrist, two hands, they'll put these lead tubes on the two hands as well as one on the ankle. They'll put like that. And the rest are connected to the chest. They'll put on the chest. So this measures mainly in this wave. The QRS only measures determines the heart rate. Which wave determines the heart rate? Means PQRST wave, especially which part of that wave, means you should say QRS. QRS wave, it determines the heart rate. Means what is the normal heart rate that is present? It is about 72 beats per minute. Normally, what is the heart rate? Means you should say 72 beats per minute. It is generally measured by that electrocardiograph. In this there is PQRST wave. In the P wave, what will happen is depolarization of atria takes place. That is contraction of atria. Two atria are present, no? That contraction will take place in the P wave. Whereas in the QRS wave, there is depolarization of ventricles. It means contraction of ventricles takes place. This contraction of ventricles only determines the heart rate. Whereas repolarization takes place in the T wave. The two lead points, they are connected for two hands on the wrist, whereas the other one is generally to the ankle, means that is leg. What is the normal heart rate is 72 beats per minute. So this is about ECG. Next we are going to deal with the double circulation. How this double circulation takes place. Normally the double circulation means how this blood is passed from heart to lungs as well as to other organs. Generally the right side of the heart transports only deoxygenated blood, whereas left side it transports only oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means this is a pure form of blood that is required. Deoxygenated blood means whatever the waste blood which is coming from the tissues, that is transported through right side of the heart. Whereas left side only oxygenated blood, that is very useful for our body. First we will deal with the artery and veins. What is the cross section of an artery and a vein? Arteries as well as veins are mainly important in this transportation, in this double circulation. Arteries as well as veins are important. Mainly this artery outside, it is layered by tunica externa, whereas middle layer is tunica media. Tunica means, we say, for any blood vessels we say tunica externa, tunica media, as well as the internal layer is tunica interna. By name only we can understand, like tunica externa means it is the outermost layer, tunica media middle layer for an artery and a vein. This is a cross section. Internal is tunica interna. So tunica externa, it is composed of only squamous epithelium. Only squamous epithelium will be present for the outer surface of artery or a vein. Only the epithelium, that is squamous epithelium, is present. Whereas in tunica media, numerous smooth muscles as well as elastic fibers are present. Numerous smooth muscles as well as elastic fibers are present. Whereas internal most layer, that is innermost layer, it has only collagen fibers. So right side of the heart, it constitutes the deoxygenated blood. Left side of the heart constitutes the oxygenated blood. Whereas arteries and veins, the cross section, outermost layer of an artery, it is called as tunica externa. Middle layer is tunica media. Innermost layer is tunica interna. Outermost layer, it is lined by epithelium, that is squamous epithelium. Whereas middle layer, it consists of numerous smooth muscles as well as elastic fibers. Innermost layer is collagen fibers are present. They'll ask you in NEET, tunica media is composed of, means smooth muscles as well as elastic fibers. Innermost layer is collagen fibers. Outermost is epithelium. So this is about the cross section of artery and vein. Exact double circulation means these arteries and veins play a very important role. Suppose this is heart and this is left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle. From right ventricle, before I have described you, there arises pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. From left ventricle, there arises aorta. Aorta. See, from pulmonary artery, the blood is carried into the lungs. So from the lungs, there is pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins, from the lungs, they are again transported to left atrium. From the left ventricle, there arises aorta. From the aorta, the blood enter into organs or all the organs as well as tissues. From the tissues, again it is transported back into the right atrium through vena cava. Through vena cava, this is again transported back. So this is the double circulation, that is artery as well as veins. These play an important role in transportation of blood from the heart to lungs as well as to organs. Here from this right side part constitutes the deoxygenated blood, whereas the left side, it constitutes the oxygenated blood. From right ventricle, there arises pulmonary artery. See, by the name only we can understand pulmonary artery as well as veins. These pulmonary means they transport only to the lungs. So from right ventricle, there arises pulmonary artery and the deoxygenated blood is transported to the lungs. From the lungs again it is transported to left atrium through pulmonary veins. And again the oxygenated blood that is formed in the left ventricle is transported to by aorta to all the organs and tissues, and again from these tissues it is transported back into the right atrium through vena cava. So this is about the double circulation. Arteries and veins play a very important role in this double circulation. Next we are going to deal with what are the disorders that are associated with the circulatory system. The main disorders which are associated are, first the main thing is BP, means blood pressure. You see many people very hypertensive and all. What is the normal count is 120 by 80 mm of Hg. These units are important. Normal BP is, normally everyone can say that is 120 by 80, but here the units are important in the NEET. mm of mercury, that is mm of Hg. Normal BP is 120 by 80. If the BP is continuously measured above 140, that is systolic is measured above 140 and diastolic is above 80. Systolic means the upper part one, lower is diastolic. If that is more, if it is continuously recorded as 140 by 90, then we say it is high BP. So this BP is the main disorder of the circulatory system. This mainly affects all the organs like heart, kidneys, brains, everything. This BP will play a very important role. Next, the main disease which occurs is coronary artery disease. What is coronary artery disease? It is mainly associated with the heart. Mainly in this coronary artery disease, there is deposition of calcium as well as cholesterol in the heart. This is also known as atherosclerosis. This coronary artery disease is also known as atherosclerosis. Means numerous plague-like structures, they accumulate in the heart vessels. It occurs due to deposition of calcium as well as cholesterol. If we take high content of cholesterol, then this full will get accumulated in the blood vessels of the heart. This leads to coronary artery disease as well as atherosclerosis. The third important disorder is angina. Angina, it occurs due to poor oxygen supply to the heart. Means there will be no oxygen supply only to the heart. So this leads to pain in the heart. Then it is known as angina. If there is sudden pain in the heart, this is referred to as angina. It occurs due to low oxygen supply. The fourth one, the main one is heart failure. Heart failure also occurs due to inadequate blood supply to the heart. Blood supply. Here in angina, there is inadequate oxygen supply to the heart. Whereas in heart failure, there is inadequate blood supply to the heart. So these are the main disorders that are associated with the heart. Mainly first is BP. Normal BP count is 120 by 80. 120 is systolic pressure, 80 is diastolic. The units are important, that is mm of Hg, that is mercury. If it is continuously recorded as 140 by 90, then we say the patient is suffering from high blood pressure. This affects heart as well as brain. The second main disorder is coronary artery disease or atherosclerosis. This occurs due to deposition of cholesterol as well as calcium. Anything which if you take highly oily food, then this get accumulated in the heart vessels and this leads to atherosclerosis. Whereas angina means it causes severe pain in the heart. means it occurs due to inadequate oxygen supply to the heart. Whereas heart failure, it occurs due to inadequate blood supply to the heart. This is poor oxygen supply. Here this is poor blood supply. Heart is usually autogenic in function. That is auto-regulation. It plays an important role in auto-regulation mechanisms, and it is myogenic. This is important NEET question they'll ask. Heart is myogenic as well as auto-regulatory. The sympathetic activity increases the heart rate. Sympathetic means, I already told you, if you are in some fear as well as when you are anxious, this sympathetic activity plays an important role. Then there will be increase in heart rate. Whereas in rest and digest activities like parasympathetic, then there will be decrease in heart rate. Sympathetic plays an important role in increase in heart rate, whereas parasympathetic, it play an important role in decrease in heart rate. Mainly the medulla that is present in the brain, medulla, it controls the heart rate. What is the organ in the brain? Which part of the brain controls the heart rate? That is medulla region of the brain controls the heart rate. So heart is autoregulatory, myogenic, as well as when sympathetic activity, when we are in stress or something, heart rate will get increased. And in rest and digest activities, that is parasympathetic, there will be decrease in heart rate. Which part of the brain plays an important role means medulla plays an important role in heart rate. So this is about the